Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all. Thank you for taking the time to attend our online discussion for today. The purpose of today's discussion is for us to discuss the Osha Act. As we know, this Osha Act is very important when we enter the world of work later. We need to know exactly all the things related to the acts that we can follow so that we work in an orderly manner and can avoid any accidents related to where we work. So, before I go any further on this, can you introduce yourself briefly?
Hi, my name is Noor Hidayah binti Muhammad Taufik.
Hi, my name is Najwa Najihah binti Muhammad Nawi.
And hi, Nur Aliaa binti Muhammad Zaki.
So, without any further ado, I want to know, what is OSHA anyway?
The word Osha stands for Occupational Safety and Health Administration. It is more like an organization formed by our government to maintain and supervise all workplace safety and health work environment for the worker. OSHA issue and enforce standards for workplace safety and health in order to prevent work-related injuries.
Can you briefly explain what is the history of OSHA?
The Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 Act 514 is a piece of Malaysian legislation which was gazetted on 25th February 1994 by the Malaysian Parliament. The principle of the Act is to make further provision for securing that safety, health and welfare of persons at work, for protecting others against risk to safety or health in connection with the activities of person at work, to establish the National Council for Occupational Safety and Health and for matters connected therewith. The Act applies throughout Malaysia to the industries specified in the first schedule. Nothing in this Act shall apply to work aboard ships governed by the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952. The Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1960 of Sabah or Sarawak or the Armed Forces.
Can someone explain what is the importance of OSHA?
The importance of OSHA is to prepare and preserve a workplace with a safe and healthy working system. Then, this is to ensure that all staff are provided with the relevant information, instruction, training, and supervision regarding methods to carry out their duties in a safe manner and without causing any risk to health. Another word, this is to investigate all accidents, diseases, poisonous and or dangerous occurrences, and to have action taken to ensure that this occurrence will not be repeated. Then this is also to comply with all the requirements of the legislation related to safety and health and stated in the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, as well as regulation and codes to practice which have been approved. And last one is to provide basic welfare facilities to all workers.
Thank you, Najwa Najihah. And then, what is the objective of the Osha Act?
I want to tell about the objective of the OSHA Act. The objective of this OSHA is to secure the safety, health and welfare of the persons at work against risk, to protect person at the place of work other than person at work against risk. Besides that, this OSHA is to promote an occupational environment for persons at work which is adapted to their psychology and psychology needs. And the last one is to provide the means toward the legislative system based on regulation and industry codes of practice in combination with the provision of the Act.
I think I have heard that there is a main regulation on occupational safety and health, but I forgot about it. Is there anyone who knows about this?
Yeah, I know. The main legislations directly related to the occupational safety and health matters for the industries are the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 and the Factories and Missionary Act 1967, which are enforced by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health under the Ministry of Human Resources.
So, what is the other legislation related to the occupational safety and health, which is the OSH, related legislation enforced by the relevant ministries?
Apart from the main regulation on OSH as explained above, there are other regulations which extend the protection of safety and health during employment and relate to the workplace. Regulations related to OSH are enforced by other relevant ministries in Sabah and Sarawak. The state governments also enacted the state ordinance which also concern with safety and health matters.
Oh, by the way, what is the purpose of the OSHA 1994?
This regulation was made because the Factory and Missionary Act 1967 only covers occupational safety and health in the manufacturing, mining, quarrying and construction industry, whereas the other industries are not covered. The purpose of Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 is to promote and encourage occupational safety and health awareness among workers and to create organisation along with effective safety and health measures.
Oh, so how can occupational safety and health be managed?
As I know, managing safety and health is an integral part of managing a business. Business need to do a risk assessment to find out about the hazard and risk in their workplace and put measures in place to effectively control them to ensure this hazard and risk cannot cause harm to the workers.
Yes, I want to add that occupational safety and health, including compliance with the OSH requirement pursuant to the national laws and regulation, in the responsibility and duty of the employers. The employer should show strong leadership and commitment to OSH activities in the organisation and make appropriate agreements for the establishment of an OSHA management system.
By the way, may I know what is the main principle OSHA 1994?
Let me explain. The main principle that had been taken as the foundation in the drafting of this act is first the self-regulation. This self-regulation is to handle issues relating to occupational safety and health. Employers must develop a good and orderly management system, starting with the formation of the safety and health policy, and consequently, the employer must make the proper arrangements to be carried out. The second one is the consultation tripartite, where employers, employees, and the government must negotiate to settle issues and problems relating to the occupational safety and health at the workplace. And the third one is the cooperation, where employers and employees must cooperate to take care, nurture, and to increase the quality of the occupational safety and health at the workplace. Without cooperation between employers and employees, none of the occupational safety and health program carried out would succeed.
Can someone tell me about other act, which is Factories and Missionary Act 1967?
Okay, may I tell you about this? Another important legislation enforced by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health is the Factories and Missionary Act 1967, which was enacted to supersede the Missionary Ordinance 1953 of the States of Malaya. There were 60 regulations promulgated under the Act. The Act 139 was enacted in 1967 and it is the legislation applicable until today to provide for the control of factory with respect to matters related to the safety, health and welfare of persons therein, the legislation and inspection of machinery and for matters connected therewith.
Wait, I heard that the DOSH Malaysia have the salient provision. So what is the salient provision in this DOSH Malaysia actually?
Okay, for the salient provision is such measure. It is National Council of OSHA. General duties of first is general duties of employees and self-employed, designs, manufacturer and suppliers, employees, and second is a safety and health organization. Third is reporting of accidents, dangerous occurrence, occupational poisoning and disease. Then this another one is prohibition of the use of plant or substance. Then it is industry code of practice, informants and investigation, liability for offence, appeals and penalties.
Do someone know what basic provision and requirement for Osha Act is?
I know. The Osha Act assigns to OSHA two principal functions: setting standard and conducting workplace inspection to ensure that employers are complying with the standards and providing a safe and healthful workplace. OSHA standard may require that employers adopt certain practices, means, method or processes reasonably necessary to protect workers on the job. It is the responsibility of the employers to become familiar with the standard applicable to their establishments, to eliminate hazardous conditions to the extent possible and to comply with the standards. Even in the areas where OSHA has not promulgated a standard addressing a specific hazard, employers are responsible for complying with the Osha Act's General Duty Clause. States with OSHA-approved job safety and health programs must set standards that are at least as effective as the equivalent federal standard.
It's a good explanation, Farhah. If you know, can someone tell me the application of OSHA? Maybe Najwa know about it?
Oh yeah. As I know, application of OSHA is like manufacturing, mining and quarrying, construction, agriculture, forestry and fishing, utilities such as electricity, gas, water and sanitary services, transport, storage and communication. There are many more of application of OSHA outside.
Wait. But do you all know that this OSHA also not applicable for some of the applications?
Yes, this OSHA not applicable to work on board ship governed by the Mission Shipping Ordinance 1952, the Mission Shipping Ordinance 1960 of Sabah and Sarawak is also not applicable to armed force.
Yeah, but this law is in addition to previous law pertaining to occupational safety and health. If there is any conflict, this law shall supersede the previous law.
Oh, I just know about this, but I know that this OSHA have its own provision.
Oh yeah, Hidayah. Can you tell us more about that?
Okay, as I know, OSHA provision is for securing the safety, health and welfare of persons at work. Secondly, it protecting others against risk to safety and health due to activities at work, and it is to establish the National Council for OSH and other relevant matters.
I think I'm clear about this OSHA provision, but I want to know what is the provision of the Federal Constitution itself.
The Federal Constitution of Malaysia is the supreme law of Malaysia. The Constitution, right under the Federal Constitution of Malaysia, encompass the right to livelihood under Article 5 of the Constitution, and within in the spirit and intent of Article 8 that all persons are equal before the law and entitled to equal protection of the law. The right of employment is parallel to other constitutional rights, and the development of the labour regulation in the country has always protected the labour force, including ensuring safety and healthy working environment for all workers.
Oh, okay. So is there any concept that being used in this OSHA 1994?
There are three concepts in OSHA. First is a responsibility on the one who create the risk and work with the risk. Second, control measures as best as employers provide depend on severity, cost, and sustainability. And the last one is a place of work, premise where person work and use for storing.
Can I know, is there a problem that usually occur in OSH?
Yeah, for every act, there will be certain problem that could occur. For OSH is the limitation of resources for OSH implementation in small and medium enterprise. Some of the problem is allocation of budget, allocation of time, limited workforce, which is another meaning is multi-responsibility and awareness.
Can I know what to do to avoid the accident?
The things that we can do to avoid the accident is by establish programs on the provision, maintenance and procedure for the safe use of plant and substance. For example, purchasing procedure, SOPs, work permit, maintenance schedule and many more. And secondly, by establish training, education and supervisory programs for new employees and continuous training and education program on existing employees. The next is maybe we can by establish the programs to ensure workplace are safe. For example, housekeeping, lighting, inspection, and others. And the last thing is maybe we can do it by establish industrial hygiene program to ensure healthy working environment. For example, like monitoring, wearing a PPE, and chemical health risk assessment.
Oh, sorry. May I ask another question? In this OSHA, it includes the employers and employees, right? So I want to know what is the obligation of employers towards the employees?
Okay, first, employers need to provide and maintain a safe plan and working system. Second, to put in a place produce so as to ensure safety and health in the users, handling, storage and transportation of the plant and supplies. Third, to provide information, instruction, training and supervision for new and old employees. Four, to provide and maintain a working environment that is safe and free from health and hazard. And lastly, to provide the necessary amenities for the welfare of those who are working.
What right can the employees expect the employer in terms of safety at the workplace?
So the employees can expect to be protected from discrimination, injury or redesignated by the employer in case if he or she make a report about the unsafe condition or work practice in the workplace. Secondly, if he or she become a member of the safety and health community. And lastly, if he or she carry out his or her duties as a member of the safety and health community. I think that's all.
I heard that there are accidents that usually occur which will be considered their charge or being solved by following the acts. What is the root cause of these accidents?
Okay, Alia, may I answer it? Okay, most occupational accidents are caused by unsafe act or unsafe condition or the combination of both. Unsafe act is the activity that is conducted in a manner that may threaten the health or safety of workers, while unsafe condition is a condition in the workplace that is likely to cause property damage or injury.
Usually, if there are any accidents occur in the workplace, the employers will need to responsible with all the things that happen. I want to know, what about the responsibility of the employees at the workplace? Someone know about it?
I think I know because I have read about this. When I read about this, I know that employees also has their own responsibilities, such as be reasonably attentive, so as to avoid injury onto themselves as well as others while carrying out their work activities, and cooperate with the employer and others to fulfill the provision of the law. I think.
Okay. This show that this act don't have this kind of bias thing. This show that the employees and employers have their own responsibility in order to ensure the safety of both sides.
Yeah, OSHA also have their time where they will do inspection to avoid all bad things happen in the workplace. Do you know about that?
Yes, I know about it. So what is the general duties of employees?
Okay, what I know, what is general duties of the employees is it is first is take reasonable care for safety and health of himself and others. Then they need a cooperate with employers and others. And the last one is wear a PPE, which is PPE is personal protective equipment, and the last one is comply with instruction on OSH.
Oh yeah. Then what is actually happened during the inspection?
From what I learned, there are three main components of an OSHA inspection, which is opening conference, roadside, work around, and close conference. For the opening conference, the opening is a brief meeting during which the OSHA inspector will explain the purpose of the inspection. Then the work around is the actual inspection. The OSHA official escorted by appropriate members of management will tour the facility in order to observe the working condition, identify any variance and make sure the employee is compliant with OSHA posting requirement. The inspector will take photo and jot down notes during the inspection, asking questions about the organisation process and practice, and may also ask to interview certain worker. Lastly, is the closing conference where upon the conclusion of the inspection, a closing conference will be scheduled. During this meeting, the inspector will disclose any hazard or violence identified during the inspection as well as any possible citation or fines the organisation may face. Any explanation of the violent and hazard method the employer can use to the address and fix the problem, and the date by which the employer must have implement the corrective action. And at the end of the closing conference, the OSHA inspection report identify any hazard of or violence. Employer should make correcting the problem quickly and main propriety of if formal citation have not yet been filled.
Wow, that's amazing answer, I think. By the way, another question. What is the hierarchy of control the accidents?
Let me answer about this. The most effective way to control it is by, first is the elimination, which is the physically remove the hazard. And then substitution, where we need to replace the hazard. And the third one is the engineering, which is isolate people from hazard. Next is the administrative part, where we need to change the way people work. And the last one is the PPE, where we need to protect the worker with personal protective equipment. So, from this, we could see, right, that OSHA take a big role in make sure that all the workplace which are exposed to hazardous environments need to get more attention and need to be solved so that the accident did not lead to the death. For the last session, I want all of you to give your opinion regarding this OSHA. Please.
Okay, may I give my opinion first? So, for my opinion, OSHA is great because OSHA regulation help reduce future incidents by identifying potential hazard, reviewing safety producers with employees to make sure they are well known, and record keeping information about events. A safer environment keeps your employees at work by reducing the changes of accidents or health problems.
Okay, in my opinion, the use of occupational safety and health in workplace is really important in the improvement in product, process and service quality. The companies can also provide a better workplace moral through the use of OSHA, and lastly, it can give a good image and reputations among customers, suppliers and the community itself.
It's a good opinion. And for my opinion about OSHA is the something good. OSHA certainly deserves recognition and praise for the good things it does. And it does many things very well. Without the threat posed by OSHA, some employers would do precious little to protect the life of their worker. OSHA also implement dozens of innovative and helpful programs.
Wow, what a brilliant opinion. Thank you for this opinion. I hope to see you all again for the other exciting and wide open topic. Thanks for your time about this virtual meeting and hope to see you again. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Waalaikumsalam. See
Waalaikumsalam.
you.
Bye.